All right, so we all had tremendous wisdom and heart shares that were so. So just look around the room for a moment and let yourself be seen, let yourself be loved. That the eyes are the way that we let all, even now practicing letting your perfect and imperfect self be seen. Letting your happiness be seen, letting your sadness be seen. And remembering and knowing that you're not alone, that you here today, and of course people that will be listening to this, that you're not alone, that there is no time and space, meaning the energy that we're building here for each other, this is something that is real. This is moving to that space, knowing that if you're available and you're open and you just do this long enough, you open your hands long enough, there's going to be a hand that takes your hand. And that love is, and this is way oversimplifying it, right? And that's why we're spending a whole day with this, but if love is really about my availability and my openness, that love is not all these things that my mind has created in addition to. It's kind of like when you say I am, anything you say after that is now confining it. So to move into the love that has just love in it is to open our spigot, to open that valve. And whatever caused that valve to close a little bit, right? Whatever limiting belief about ourselves, whatever self-hate, whatever messages that we internalized, those are the things that, of course, we've got to love. We need to learn today to actually move towards the knife. Yeah, did I just say that? Yeah, move towards the knife. And maybe it's actually move towards the light, the brilliance. You know, that's just as important. That may apply to people that are listening, or apply that can be just as hard as moving towards a knife. That to let things be easy, to let things flow, to let it be in grace. That it's about an opening, it's about availability, it's about showing up, it's about being all in. And that when we're not all in, you literally disconnect from your own power. There's a belief in our culture that says when we're not all in, somehow it protects us, right? Not all in a relationship, not all in at work, not all in here in this moment. Are you all in? Are you all in? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, okay. That's a decision that you make, you see. And that I had a woman I was counseling, and this woman is kind of many women that I have helped to life coach, and that she was like, wow, the man's not masculine enough, so I'm not going to be all in. Or I've heard men say, well, she doesn't really like to have sex as much as I do, so I'm not really all in, but I'm going to be in the relationship for another 2 years. You know what I mean? So if we get in and we are all in, things begin to shift, things begin to change, things begin to shift, things begin to shit hits the fan, you know, or it starts to it transforms, it opens, but it's not anything I did out here. I'm not doing this, right? I'm not moving stuff around. I'm saying I'm all in. I'm all in. And that, like, this man I was life coaching the other day, that now has a tremendous, well, not the other day, so this is about 5 months ago, and he's like, well, I don't know if this is a job for me, so I don't know really, I don't really want to compare, because I don't know if this is a job for me. And so we talked about his beliefs, because it's one thing, if this work was about knowing new things, and me just telling you these formulas, right, then anyone with like education or taking courses, you would be blissful, right? Or anyone with a PhD would be enlightened. But sometimes the ones that are the most mentally trained are the ones that are least happy, right? Because happiness is really about not the intellect. You could say, well, I know that I'm loved, and I know that life is for me, or I know that Krishna, God, Christ, universe is here with me, or whatever it is. You could say, I know that. In fact, you'll even hear, if you notice in some of our shares, this is where I'm at, but I know this, right? There's like this. And so to be able to lean towards the knife, to be able to have that very thing that's coming towards us, that we think if we look at it, we're going to die. And that's what it feels like, right? To be able to go, the moment we do that, we do get annihilated in a way. We lose our identification with our limited self-identities. But it's not in fighting this part of ourselves. You could do that the rest of your life. The kind of spiritual bypassing that says, I need to overcome this part, I need to affirm past this, I need to think positive, I need to transform past this. In fact, I don't like the word transformation very much. This is about embracing this. This is about giving this thing that you think is going to kill you, whether it be the fear, the anger, the sadness, the past, or call it this, the egoic mind. It's about giving it a big hug and kiss. Because what you love and accept alchemizes, and it's like leaves falling, and you become who and what you truly are. You could spend an entire lifetime arguing with the egoic mind. You know, I have a good amount of clergy that come to me, and I love they've been some of my favorite. You know, I love people that come from a religious background. I don't know, it's because I have actually a lot of religious trauma that caused my transformation in my early 20s. So my hero, my mentor, the person that, this was my hero, my mentor, when I was getting my degree in natural health. He was a fundamentalist, and he said, he convinced me, in my early 20s, I'd already been many years down the path, my devotion to serve, he convinced me that I was going to hell. And I really believed it for about a year. And so at the end of that transformation, I knew, wow, everything is love. And this love is not a mushy, squishy, flowers, chocolatey love. This love is fierce. That when we bring that love to something, wow. And then I started teaching and preaching and doing sessions with that. And what happened is, like, people had these spontaneous healings and these shifts. I've had hundreds of sessions of people that have done traditional therapy, arguing, analyzing, putting it in a file cabinet. Oh, it looks this way. Oh, it comes from my mom. It comes from my dad. It's my history. It's past life. It's karmic. It's genetic. That's important to know your story, but once you know your story, so what? What value does that have? It's about loving it. It's about embracing it. See, we've had and this is not gender, but we've had too much of the masculine scientific mind that's coming to the planet. And what I mean by that is we really believe if we diagnose this and label it, it's going to make it heal it. And we've taken Freudian psychology and it's become the abscess to our soul. And Freudian psychology, what it says is if you can label it, diagnose it, and put a name on it, you somehow are free of it. So I'm telling you, I'm asking you, is that working? That's why I'm so excited about this work, because I don't see it anywhere. Now, I do see it in more of like Zen Eastern philosophy, but I still feel there's kind of a mistaste to emotions. That, you know, your feelings are really children of your ego. And you've got to love those wounded children. And it's not about sitting there and coddling them. No, it's about, right? It's not about self-pity. That's not what I'm talking about. Self-pity is a story that says, I'm the only person on the planet this has happened to, poor me, right? Self-compassion is, okay, I feel like shit, I hate myself, I want to die. Okay, these are all the ways I usually distract myself. I like to label it, I like to hustle for love, I like to get a lot of sex from a man, I like to do this, I like to eat, okay, I'm going to sit with this 10 minutes. Oh, and I'm going to ask somebody to help me and go to somebody that can hold space for me, a life coach, or I'm going to go into nature. I'm going to do both. It's going to really provide a safe container for that, right? What you resist persists. I'm sure you've heard that, but what you resist, you also become. What you resist, you become, right? You know that declaration that says, I don't want to be like my mother, you know, and you see that person become their mother. I don't want to be like my father, and you become your father. Oh, baby.